Hi guys, I'm so excited to share with you my minimalist baby registry for the twins that my husband and I are expecting at the beginning of August. While neither of us consider ourselves to be minimalists, we live in a really small apartment in South Denver that honestly works really well for us as young professionals who are, usually just working. But we've inadvertently ended up with minimal things and consequently minimal space. Now that we're having twins, we're obviously reassessing the space issue because 4 people in a 1-bedroom is only going to work for so long. But in the meantime, I really only want what's necessary to get started with 2 infants, so I really want to keep it streamlined and simple. A lot of sources, even though they say that you don't have to get 2 of everything, still recommend getting 2 of a lot of things. And even if we did have this space to do that, I really wouldn't want to do that on principle. So I've tried to find out what other women have found to be must-haves and what they found to be unnecessary, and really work to make my list as practical as possible. Hopefully it's a good help for you if you are in the same boat. So yeah, let's jump in. So I have set up my registry on Babylist, and the reason why I picked this website was you can add this little button to your browser so that whenever you're on another website, if you see something that you like, just click this button and it will bring up a pop-up and it'll put that on your list. Another reason, for specific items, for each vendor, it'll give you how much they're charging for that particular item. And as somebody who likes to get a really good deal, I thought that that was something, worthwhile. So let's just jump in and I'll show you all of the categories and all of the things I've put in those categories. So category 1 is cash funds. I think that this is possibly the best decision that I made on this registry to keep things minimal. Considering unknowns, potentially moving, our baby's preferences, which we don't know yet, and a billion other things, having the freedom to buy the things that we need as we go along will help us to avoid unnecessary purchases, having to return things, or having too much all at once in this tiny little apartment. So this first one is called How Do You Plan for Twins Fund? And it honestly is just a brutally honest, we don't know what we're doing. I think that that's just a really responsible way of saying I want to use your money really well, so here's an option and we'll use that as we need to. I also have a diaper fund, which I don't think needs much explanation because twins, we're gonna need a lot of diapers. The next category is baby gear, and I have a couple of fabric carriers, a more sort of durable hiking type situation carrier, and then a baby swing. This is the kind that I'll be wearing at home, and this is the kind that I'll wear to the grocery store. Really, really practical. Then as for the swing, the reason that I'm only asking for 1 is because I've been a preschool teacher, and in all of the infant rooms that I've worked in, there are usually about 7 babies and only 1 or 2 swings. And that's just because not every baby needs to be in a swing at the same time. So what you don't see in this baby gear list is something like a pack and play gyms or mats, bouncer seats, bumbos, or a Mamaroo. I looked into the Mamaroo. It looks really cool. It also seems like a pretty expensive gamble on whether or not your child is gonna actually enjoy that. You can't really tell beforehand whether or not they're gonna being rocked or vibrated or swirled around. You really don't know. I honestly think that this swing is a good bet. They're gonna like it, and if they don't, we'll figure something else out. Next is transportation, and this is really just all of the staples. Stroller, infant car seat, the adapters for the car seat to go on the stroller, an organizer to help us get the stroller up off the ground, and some mirrors to go in the car. Now, this is the most expensive item on this registry list, and this was the biggest thing that I had heard from the most moms, was that they wish that they had just invested in a good stroller from the beginning, because it's so worth it. Not having to struggle with a crazy stroller, being able to depend on it, being able to travel well with it, and being able to know that it's gonna last a long time is priceless. So I definitely went big. Someone has actually purchased it, which was so incredibly sweet of them. But before they purchased it, I had actually a cash fund for the stroller, where I explained that I know it's an expensive stroller. I would love if you just want to throw a few dollars at it. You can put together like a cash fund for a specific item, which is really, really cool. What you won't find in this category are special covers for the car seats. There are just like special stretchy ones. Not really interested in those. Extra stroller attachments. There are a bunch of additional things that can come with this: cup holders, bassinets, but we just don't have space to keep all of those extra attachments. So those were next. Moving on to accessories. Here I have 4 pacifier clips. 2 of these will be like permanently stuck to the car seats, just so I always know where they are. And then 2 will be, you know, for everywhere else. 4 pacifiers, or as my family called them, nummies. And then boots, mittens, and hats. What you won't find in this list are baby socks, because I refuse to chase baby socks and keep those together. I can hardly do that with my own socks. You also won't see any baby shoes or accessories like adults wear. As much as like it's adorable and they look like mini adults, they are just gonna grow so quickly that it really isn't worth it. However, if someone ends up getting me like really cute like matching snapback hats for them, I'm not gonna turn it down. Like, they're gonna wear them, or if they had like tiny little Nikes, my heart would burst. So anyways, not against those things. I just haven't added them to my list. Okay, so clothes. This really just speaks for itself, and it really is just the staples. And if I'm totally honest, I'm really not expecting anyone to purchase anything from this list. All of the onesies that I've received so far have been just really cute gifts, thoughtful things that people have seen and they've sent that, and I love them. But if people needed inspiration, I have 2 different sizes of pants just to get them started, some swaddles or alternatives to swaddles that have zippers that are really, really great. I'm thinking like my husband will probably love those. A bunch of just plain white, like short sleeve onesies that can get dirty if it's like a poopy day, it doesn't matter. Sleep sacks, again, like zippers. If there's one thing that I've heard, like iterated between so many different moms, is that zippers are the best. If you're up with your baby in the middle of the night, the last thing you want is like some really noisy Velcro or buttons, or have to like do so many buttons in the dark. Like, just get stuff with zippers. And then here are just like a bunch of things that are really just suggestions for the person who might like to shop online more than they like to shop in a store. This is the category where it looks like I really went overboard, but I didn't, because swaddles can be used for like so many different things. Obviously, they swaddle, but they also can second as like a nursing cover or a car seat cover or a light blanket if you're like transporting them from in the house to outside and it's chilly. You can wipe spit up with it. Like, you can just do everything with these, and they're not difficult to store. So I just picked out a bunch of like really cute ones. This is adorable. This is all I want. And this like cute little sloth one, and this rainbow. Okay, I want all of them. But all of these cute little swaddles, I'll just keep them everywhere. Always have one in like my baby bag or something like that. Yes, super practical, super cute. Next, the feeding category. The first thing on the list is an electric breast pump, and it should be noted that your healthcare provider can probably provide you one for free through your insurance, and that's worth looking into. I still need to do this myself, but I've heard that the Spectra is a really good brand, and so I just wanted to have that on my list so I don't forget it. But yes, that's something worth having on your radar for sure if you plan on breastfeeding, which I do. Also, storage bags, a crinkle cutter for when they start baby-led weaning, which could be around 6 months, something like that. 2 silicone baby bibs, baby bottles, this frozen teether pop. I really like Freezy Pop, so my children probably will too. A Freezy tray, a bottle warmer, bottle cleaner, and drying rack. All of this is really, really straightforward. There are a few things though that you won't find in this category that you would find on somebody else's list. First of all, just like sort of a baby focused drying rack. I immediately think of the one that has grass, or there's one that's like a little tree that you can hang their bottle stuff from. While that's so cute, I just don't think that it's very practical. This will work just as well, and I could also set other things on it to dry and it's not gonna look ridiculous. Some other things that you won't find on this list are fabric bibs, which I don't know why anyone would ever buy a fabric bib when you can have a bib that will catch the extra food so that they can eat it. Like, that is brilliant. You also won't find any baby plates or baby utensils. I plan on getting those for them later. On to bath time. So one of the first things that I knew we were gonna have a hard time storing was a baby bathtub. We just don't have a very large bathroom. I came across the Pudge Flight, and this looks so cute and so easy. It like literally folds in half. It's made of this material that stays warm, so they aren't like shocked when you set them on it. And then it would just be so easy to be able to take traveling, or if we're going to our parents' houses or something like that. And then really simply fragrance-free shampoo and daily lotion. So something that you will not find in this list is a baby towel or a baby washcloth or a bath thermometer, you know, to test like the water and stuff, or bath toys. Like, I don't think any of those things are actually necessary. They can definitely just use adult towels, and that will help us save on space. And then as for anything else, like a bath thermometer or a bath toy, like, they're not going to be playing with toys for a long time, and I feel pretty confident about testing the water myself. Next, diapering. First, I have a changing pad, some hippie booty cream. I promise this stuff is amazing. I know it looks super hippie, but it is so good. A diaper bag, a wipe container, spray bottles for disinfectant to use on the changing table, baskets, and cloth diapers. Things that you won't find in this list are a diaper table, for instance. We just don't have room for one of those, which is why getting one of these diaper pads is so cool. And then I'm gonna have those foldable diaper pads, I think, that I'll just potentially change their diaper anywhere. So this one will be going on my dresser in our bedroom, and that will just be devoted to that for a season. Something else that you won't find on this list is a wipe warmer or an enormous diaper bag that's only a diaper bag, and my husband would hate carrying it around. So this is something that I think we both can live with. Or a diaper pail. Someone has already gifted us one of those, which was really, really sweet. On to nursery and decor, my very favorite category, and also the one that I put so much time and effort into because it was just so difficult to figure out how we were going to do this in our small apartment. Naturally, I wanted to just buy them cribs because that's the normal thing to do. However, it just isn't possible for us to get 2 cribs into our bedroom. So I have found Moses baskets, and I think it is the perfect alternative. Not only do they have this foldable base, which, you know, could be moved anywhere in our room on one side of the bed or the other, or split between both sides, but the basket on top is not only light, it's durable. They could be in the bedroom, they could be sleeping on the couch. It's a really great option for us. There's also the pads to go in the Moses baskets, the sheets, a baby lounger, a nightlight, and then a sound machine. What you do not find in this list, as I've already said, is a normal size crib. These only work for up to when your baby is able to sit up. That's when it's no longer safe, and you should definitely have them in just a normal crib. So that is my plan as of right now. What you also won't find here is a baby laundry hamper. I actually have another basket already that I plan to use. You also won't find a DockATot. Those are the most expensive baby pillows on the planet. I do really want a lounger just to be able to set the babies down and, you know that they're in something that they're not going to roll out of. So the Snuggle Me is like half the price. It is still a little bit expensive, but I still did want to have a lounger on my list. Lastly, you won't find anything like a toy chest or a monitor on this list. We have a really tiny apartment. We don't need a monitor. We'll hear them. Health and safety is, I think, the only category that I really didn't cut any corners. I honestly think I got everything that's needed just because I would rather have that stuff than not. So first of all, a humidifier, some nasal spray. We live in Colorado. It's like super dry here. A nasal aspirator, which sounds really disgusting. You can look up videos of it, but I've heard that it genuinely works better than like the little sucker, the snot sucker that we're gonna get from like the hospital. I don't know what that thing is called. Nail clipper, thermometer, sunscreen, and sound blocking earmuffs. Really straightforward. I really didn't cut any corners there. And finally, the last category, toys and books. Now, this is the category that I have cut the most corners on. It is unbearably bare. Like, you'll just have to see. So I have a couple of memory books. I think that these are adorable. A couple of like veggie teethers that look super cute, and maybe they'll like vegetables if they pretend to chew on them all day long. A Jolly Jumper, and then just some other fruit chewy like teether toys. It's really, really bare. I feel justified in cutting down to this for a couple of reasons. First of all, infants are going to sleep for the first part of their life. They're not going to be interested in playing with toys. I really don't need to feel like I'm gonna have to like entertain them. But yes, like there are a bunch of things that you will not find in this list. Like any toys or stuffed animals, that sort of like orb disc that you can set your child in. It's sort of like a spaceship where they can spin around, and there's like all of those spinny things and lots of buttons. And the only exception is this Jolly Jumper, which they're definitely not going to be using as infants, obviously, but it's something that I would like to have for when they can. It is a bit of a more expensive purchase, but it's something that we can just keep stored in a closet until they're able to use it. But none of those sort of like play gym mats or anything like that, I don't think that they're necessary right now. I really don't want our kids to have like a billion toys. I'd rather them have like 10 toys, and maybe we have some backup that we swap out at some points, but that's just something that I think will cross later. And to have infants in this apartment, these things are the bare minimal, and I think that we can get away with it. Now, those are all the main categories that my guests can see when they visit the website. However, I do have a secret category that I've put together for myself that just contains purchases and things that either I don't want to forget about or I am planning on buying later. Like, here's the mysterious crib. There's the mattress and the sheets. It's just a matter of time and a matter of moving to the right place to have those things. There are other things that are going to make it onto this list that haven't yet, like a pair of high chairs, or maybe we'll get Bumbos instead. Regardless, this is that list. Some other things on this list, breast pads. Like, I'm not putting these out there for other people to purchase because I want to purchase them myself. I want to make sure that I like what I'm getting. I just need to research them a little bit more. And lastly, a travel crib. We don't need it right now. I'd rather not somebody purchase it and then us just like end up having to return it so that we can buy other things that we need, like more readily than we need a travel crib. And so that concludes my minimalist twins registry. And like I said earlier, I'm in no way a strict minimalist. There are plenty of things like the Swaddles on this list that are, you know, a personal choice of mine that I really want. And then there are a bunch of things that I've had to decide to get rid of. Motherhood or parenthood is really not about the things. The things help you do parenthood. The things will make it fun. The things will make it somewhat easier in some ways. It'll make it harder in other ways. And so as I look through this list, I don't look at things that like are going to make the experience. It's just going to add to it. If you're in the same boat, I would love to hear your thoughts, comments, how you've handled being a mom. If you're a mom of twins, I would love to hear from you. Yes, so this is my registry. I can't wait to start getting the things so I can put it together and I can show you all how it looks in our apartment. And just start nesting. Like, I think the word nesting is weird, but anyways, thanks so much for watching. Bye.